Yes.
Good morning, everyone. This is Ruben and Veronica with another episode of Red Alpha Mugshot Monday. Just in case you don't know, we are the owners of Red Alpha Custom Prints, and we try to record episodes weekly as often as we can, and we package it in a program that we call the Red Alpha Mugshot Monday. And so the theme of this is to kind of showcase the coffee mug of the week. We bring a segment of showmates where we talk about some of the shows or movies that we've watched. We do a segment of behind the X's and O's where we try to go do a deep dive into conversations that maybe couples who are in business would have, things that we normally don't talk about because we're so busy sharing just the highlights of our lives, but things that everybody either struggles with or deals with, and conversations that need to take place. And so we call that behind the X's and O's. And then also we recap the weekends. If we go out of town, spend time with our kids and our grandkids, we recap that. If we find any restaurants, any new restaurants that we try out, we share those. We maybe even give them a shout out if we're connected with them. We also talk a little bit about the current projects that we're working on, or one that we recently completed, and we want to discuss that. And and pretty much everything behind the scenes of Red Alpha, our weekend shenanigans, and basically what's brewing with Red Alpha Custom Prints. But let's go ahead and get into this. The first thing I wanted to just kind of highlight is my coffee mug of the week. Again, it's going to be the Red Alpha Mugshot Monday. This is the right-handers edition, right? I have a right-hander and a left-hander, left hand, but I don't know. My left hand is dirty, or I couldn't find it, so I just grabbed this one right here, and so I got to hold it in my right hand if you can't tell, so that way you can see the logo. These will be on sale soon. We're going to get some extra ones printed, and you may it may have the logo and then something funny or a quote that I say, or just a special highlight of the podcast. And we're just going to be creative with it, and we'll have not only coffee mugs, but we might have stickers and shirts and things like that. And if you notice, we're both suited up in our ugly sweaters. This is our own, the Red Alpha company ugly sweater.
Ugly Christmas sweater.
Ugly Christmas sweater. And so the reason why we're suited up in these is that this is ugly Christmas sweater season. And so if you follow us on social media, you know that I'm blasting. I'm talking about the petty elf. I'm talking about new designs, even old designs are like our classics. Just letting you know that it's ugly Christmas sweater season.
It's sweater weather.
Sweater weather. And so we got them available. You can purchase them on our website. We're also on Etsy. But these sweaters actually do really well during the Christmas season, right leading up to Thanksgiving, but then it seems like right at Thanksgiving, for the next weeks up until, whatever the last shipping date is the 20th or whatever day it is in December. But we get a bunch of orders of ugly sweaters. And this year we wanted to start a little bit early, so that way you can put it on your mind and you could do some planning. For example, if you want to get one like this for your business, give us a call. Let's go ahead and get that going, because there's going to be a lot of people coming to us, right? And so we like to do these custom design for your company, and we have a handful of companies that we've done it for. And we did one for Rear Naked Choke, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
One of our friends that are in a band, and it's just something fun to do. If you're here in Abilene, you know that the Christmas lights parade is coming just a few weeks, so we're getting banner orders coming in and things of that nature. So start getting ready for your Christmas parties, your get-togethers now, and don't wait, because you might miss out. Right. So that's a little bit of that. Going into the episode.
I didn't say my mug.
Oh, sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. What's your mug about?
Well, I didn't put much thought into it. I just got my the one that we got at Goldthwait. There's a store that we stopped by there on the way to Austin, and it's been about a year or two already now that we've been stopping there. It's a different, a new convenience store there, and it just says Goldway on it. Thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, Goldway is kind of halfway in between here and Austin, and is it the exact halfway
Probably,
mark? Pretty much.
Yeah, it's about halfway.
And so we have our regular stops, which we've talked about, but this one right here is definitely a place that we're going to, and they have a little bit of everything in that store.
So got shirts and little knickknacks.
Little knickknacks. They got like food or whatever.
They have like a kitchen.
Kitchen. They have different like canned fruits and stuff like from local farmers. I think. And, of course, all the different caffeines that you might want.
Yeah, the coffee. They got tea. Yeah. Where you can just get your hot water, and they have got tea packets there, and a little coffee bar area. With syrups and creamers and all that good stuff.
And the last time, whenever we were on our way back, this is something that I noticed. I noticed a lot of monarch butterflies. So if you go this time of year, you might see the monarch butterflies out that way. I've seen a little bit here in Abilene, but I guess I just haven't been out when they're there. But we were stopping on our way back, and that's when I noticed one as I was putting gas, but then I started looking around. I was like, hey, there's a bunch of butterflies. And then that's whenever you remember that's
their monarch migration season.
Yeah, so they're migrating. So if you're out and about, you might see some monarch butterflies. And, it doesn't mean that you got good luck or somebody's thinking about you. You can choose to believe that, but they're migrating. So you probably see them. Yeah. We'll see them out on our installs and things like that.
And we brought one with us.
Yeah. There
was one on the grill that didn't make it.
Yeah, he was like, hey, oh no, like Mr. Bill. and so we brought him with us. He hitched the ride with us, but he's still asleep on our grill right now. Right. And so that's we like to talk about our coffee mug because obviously the podcast is about coffee, our love for coffee. We're drinking. We went back to the ground beans that we get. What's the the brand?
I can't remember the brand.
It's a brand that we normally go to. It's a HEB brand, and
they sell it at HEB.
They sell it at HEB, yeah, and so it's good. It's kind of our go-to. I think that whenever we get the coffee beans, but we do try to mix it up and it's not always coffee beans that we ground. Sometimes it's stuff that's already grounded. And so, but we definitely drink our coffee. We've been fasting lately, so I'm drinking black coffee. I always drink black coffee anyway. Even whenever I was putting something in it, I just put just a little bit of like half and half and drink it that way. But drinking black coffee because I don't want to break my fast. We've been following like at least a 16 to 18 hour intermittent fasting for several weeks now. And so that's kind of motivating us to get back in the gym. Yesterday we went to the gym, and the day before we went to the gym, Friday went to the gym, and then again yesterday. And so I'm already feeling the benefits. Right?
Yeah, me too. Our legs were sore. Our legs were sore, and then yesterday we did arms. Felt a little soreness coming on already, so that's good.
That is good. I mean, because it's a reminder that work has been done. Right? Yes. If you're not sore, that means that you didn't do anything to get uncomfortable, right? And being uncomfortable is a valuable tool. It's a tool that you can use in life. Just get uncomfortable. You might get sore, but you're going to become stronger because of it. Right, that's a nugget right there, and we're not even in the behind the scenes. Right, it's that one's for free. But the project spotlight that I wanted to talk about, we can add the more recent one too. But so whenever I put together the notes here, we had just finished up the window wrap at Pop Strings, and so they're longtime customer of ours. The family or the couple that owns the restaurant, and they opened up earlier part of this year, right? Was it this year that they opened?
Yeah, December last year.
And so we had wrapped their windows, but then they were having some issues with the doors that they had, so they replaced the two front doors and the windows around them. So they let us know that they were going to have somebody come in on that Wednesday. And so we were prepared so that way we can start to install. And then we also had to make sure that we were there before they got busy. Because I don't know if you guys have had Pop's drinks. We've had them a couple of times. My favorite is the Dixie Sunset. It tastes like Fruity Pebbles or that orange sherbet ice cream. It tastes like that. And so that's my go-to, right? But if you haven't had it, depending on the time of day, I mean, that line is going to back up all into Buffalo Gap. I mean, it's like just as busy as at Seven Brews. That's next door. And so people love their Pops, right?
Yeah, they start getting busy. I mean, they open at 9 in the morning, and there's people coming in at 9 for their drink of choice.
That's right. That's right. And so, I mean, we're over here drinking black coffee, and people are getting them nice fancy drinks fountain drinks in the morning, And so, but man, it's good. I mean, they also have like popcorn and cookies and pickles, things like that. Yeah. So it's a good spot. Like if you're looking for a snack or just something to cool yourself down. Well, now it's like warm yourself up, and they do have hot chocolate.
hot cocoa they sell.
Hot cocoa. So we need to go try that.
Yeah, we need to try that.
I like that. And then you could do your dance from that movie.
Hot chocolate.
Yeah, that one right there. And so but in between this job, we had like 2 others. Just yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before that we finished the window wrap at WIC?
Yesterday.
Okay, so yesterday, we finished a window wrap for it's for the health department, the WIC.
It's a WIC.
Yeah, the WIC department, which is
WIC program.
The WIC program, and so they contacted us, and they actually sent us the design, and so we printed it and we installed it. And if you're connected with us, we've already posted pictures about it. But it was a fun little project. We went out there and knocked it out. It's at the library, so we had to be really, really quiet.
At the mall.
Oh, at the mall. Yeah, the library at the mall. And so we had to be really quiet. And it's kind of like, it's actually pretty cool to just be in a quiet place.
Yes, and actually that place is really nice. There's a lot of room. There's a lot of like little spaces where you can go in and just sit down and read a book. The entrance towards the back, they've got a nice entrance where it kind of looks like a lobby. There's chairs and they've got cases where they're showcasing, whatever arts and crafts and maybe books. And then, it's just really big. And so that where we wrapped, it was for it's a lactation lounge for mothers who are breastfeeding, so they can come in and they have a quiet space to go and breastfeed their babies. And so what we did is we did a solid vinyl on the outside. I mean, that whole, it's all windows, but on the outside, you just see a solid print, the design that they have. And then on the inside, I mean, you can't see through it. So there's privacy for breastfeeding moms there. It's a really nice place.
Yeah, it's a really good idea too, because most of the time, whenever we get contacted, especially like if it's in a commercial setting, right? Privacy is like, it's not the highest priority. It's like they do want a little bit of privacy, but they want to, they want to advertise the business or the services that we're offering. So, most of the time we're gonna go with window perforated vinyl to where it's solid, but then you still have visibility and you can see out. Right. But this one right here was different because it was all about privacy. Right. And it so happens that you can print a design that subtly promotes the service and the WIC program. I like it. It's a nice like a watercolor style design, which I thought it's really cool. It's really appropriate for that room and that program. So
kind of looks like a illustration, a book illustration.
Yes,
right?
Yeah. It captured that.
It captured it, and
yeah.
The designer was like right on point. It was
the
perfect.
Storybook capital of America.
Yeah.
Right?
That's what we are.
So that person, the designer, really captured all, in my opinion, the whole story that the WIC department was trying trying to say. And if you guys have listened to me at all, I think that everything revolves around the stories that you tell. And the better that you are at telling stories, whether it's about your personal life, your personal brand, the company that you work for, family, whatever it is that you're passionate about, the better that you are at telling a story, the more engaged people are going to be in that, right? So I focus a lot of my time on how to tell stories. I tell stories even if I'm not good at it, but I try to get better, and I try to figure out where areas that I can improve, because I want to be a good storyteller. I think I'm okay. Lots of room for improvement, and I'm getting better, but I'm focused on it. So, eventually I'm going to be telling some great stories, and you guys are going to be lining up, maybe going to watch a movie or something.
You already tell great stories.
Thank you, babe. Thank you. She's my number one fan, and I don't even have to pay her. But speaking of stories, man, we just rewatched season 4 of Showmates. Season 4 of Stranger Things. Right, I'm getting ahead of myself. So Showmates is a brand of ours, and typically whenever we're talking about shows that we watch or movies that we watch, we'll be wearing our Showmates brand shirts. But it has become a brand. I mean, we're so passionate about watching shows that we've created a brand. And so you could go to our website and just look up Showmates. It's under the Red Alpha Originals category. And so you'll find all the different designs that we have. Stranger Things definitely has a spot. We have a design that is inspired by Stranger Things. And man, that is in that genre. It is, one of my favorites. But season 4 is like the best out of all of them. And so I'm looking forward to season 5. But in season 4, if you guys know, man, this is whenever it starts to get darker. We find out that Harry, aka Vecna, is the main villain behind everything, right? And so everybody has it. It starts out with Hop in Russia. He's locked up and he's sending messages to his future baby mama, Winona Ryder, whatever her character is, right? And so they go to try to rescue him. 11 has gone back to the hospital, right? And they're trying to, because she had lost her powers, right? And so they're helping her through trauma. they're helping her get her powers back. There's a story right there. Sometimes the things that you go through, the trauma that you go through, can be an opportunity for you to realize your strength. They don't have to drown you. Sometimes it does. A lot of times it does. But sometimes the things that you go through in life are there for a reason. They're there to uncover a strength that you may not have realized. And you wouldn't have never realized it if your life was all comfortable, right? So just like 11, soak yourself in some salt water, go over to Surfer's Pizza and hang out with my dude, with my bro with the long hair. I forget his name. Argyle. And then tap in to the upside down, which is your trauma, and figure it out. Squeeze out some strength so that you can be strong for somebody else, right? So there's another little nugget, right?
Good
Talking
stuff.
about Stranger Things. But then also you see how Vecna is targeting certain kids, right? So that way he can grow stronger and he can open portals wherever they're at, right? So it's like the one girl, Chrissy, in that trailer, and so that's a portal, and then there's different portals. There's one in the lake and different things like that. But he's using these kids so that he can open up a portal so that he can, eventually come into Hawkins, right? Which is pretty cool. Episode 4 of the season is where Max, where she gets drawn up into the sky, and Lucas helps get her back, right? He knows her favorite song, and I had never heard that song before in my life.
Neither have I,
but it is a jam.
It is. It's really catchy. I think I would have liked it a lot. It would have probably been one of my favorites if I would have caught it back in the 80s listening to it, because it's really good.
I mean, what were we busy listening to in the 80s that we missed that song? Right?
I know. I don't know. And it wasn't just in the UK. It was like mainstream.
Yeah.
Whenever I looked it up, I mean, it wasn't like hidden, just specific to a country. It was.
Yeah, I know. I was listening to Guns N' Roses and Whitesnake and, all of those hair bands, Def Leppard. I'm definitely a product of all of that stuff. And so that's what I was listening to. So I didn't have no time for Kate Bush.
Kate Bush.
I had no time for Kate Bush, but when I heard it, and then of course it goes perfect with the scenario, right? So she sees her friends, right, and she sees like the opening, right, and she starts running towards them, and then she's kind of getting a flashback of happy moments, right? So even though she's there in that, I don't know, that, what do you call that place, that purgatory? I guess that's the closest thing I can think of, right? Of where Vecna he keeps his victims, right? He had people hanging like on, not on trees, but they were on like different things, right? Like parts of buildings, or I guess all of them had something to do with the story, right? Pieces of Hawkins buildings and things like that, but they were like wrapped up inside of it, right? And kind of symbolizing how people get wrapped up in consumed by the things that happen to them, right? And so he would bring these people to this purgatory, and Max finds herself there, but because she was able to remind herself of the good things in life, she's able to escape, right? And then fast forward, whenever we see 11 in there, right? And so she's actually going in and trying to rescue Max, right? Whenever they go to get Vecna, like they're trying to kill Vecna, basically. And so she goes in and she gets caught up because she has a dark past too, right? And so her guilt, in my opinion, that's what he used. He was like, "You did this, and there's no running from that. You did it, right? So it's like no point in acting like it didn't happen." But she, she started to remember the good things, right? And so one of the good things was her boyfriend, right? He was like, "I'm right here. I'm not going anywhere." And he's like, "What am I gonna do without you?" And because he was afraid. What's his name? He's afraid. Mike. Yeah. So Mike was like, "Man, the only reason why she likes me is because I was the first person that she saw in the forest, right?" And so he's feeling all insecure.
Yeah.
And, come on, Mike. You keep them the way that you got them, right? You got to keep that confidence. If you start losing confidence now, then she's going to start seeing you as the punk that you believe that you are, right? So you got to stay positive, stay strong. Even though you may not feel it, but you got to put on that face, so that way she can be strong through you, right? So what else did you like about season 4, and what are you looking forward to in season 5?
Well, with the season 4, I mean, just all the seasons, I really like how they capture just the 80s era, and I look at all the like beyond, I'm looking at in the room that they're in, what's on their chimponier. What's in the kitchen, and what kind of little gadgets were they using in the kitchen, and the food, the brands, they really capture the 80s. Perfect.
Yeah. The dress and the music, the soundtrack is really good.
Yeah, the music,
and so especially whenever Eddie Munson gets up and he throws down on some Metallica, Master of Puppets. That is an iconic scene. As a matter of fact, I saw a video where Metallica, in one of their concerts, in the back of the screen, they played that clip.
Oh, that clip
in their concert. Eddie Munson, And so he really played that.
Yeah.
He really played that.
Yeah.
So he knows how to play the guitar. He really knocked that out of the park.
I forgot about that little.
Yeah. And so it's so that was pretty cool. I wish that he was coming in season 5, but I think that they have basically said that he's dead. So he's not coming back. And but
just in memories.
Yeah, just in memories. But maybe in a flashback or something. Or I think that they're going to do a spinoff. So after season 5, they're already planning something else. So we're not done in the Stranger Things world, which I'm excited about that, because I think I'll watch every single thing when it comes to this. Right. So it's pretty cool. That's our Showmate segment. We watched that. We watched another movie, but I wanted to just kind of focus on Stranger Things because in a couple of weeks is the season 5 premiere. It's actually on Wednesday, the 26th, is the first episode. And from what I understand, the season finale of season 5 is going to be shown at theaters. So we need to find out what theater, get our tickets, so that way we can be part of the cool crowd. We could be part of the Hellfire Club, and matter of fact, I might be wearing a Hellfire Club shirt, so that way we can fit the part.
So that comes out the day before Thanksgiving, so we'll have Thanksgiving weekend to watch it.
No, I'm watching it on Wednesday, November 26th. I already told the kids. I said, hey, the turkey and dressing, all of that is important. Pecan pies, all that is important, but the highest priority on Wednesday, the 26th, is to watch Stranger Things. So be there or be square. They used to say that in the 80s too, right?
Maybe that's a little bit older than
okay, that's not like 70s or 60s, maybe. Anyways, but I'm still saying it in 2025, so
you're still hip to it.
Right. So our next segment is what we call the Red Off a Mugshot Monday coffee break, and during the coffee break, this is where my wife she brings a little bit of maybe it's random thought, maybe it's a nugget, maybe it's some deep talk that she's been thinking about. Maybe it's about cats. Who knows? But for our coffee break, obviously I got to take a sip of coffee and some water. But what do you have prepared for us for our coffee break?
Well, so this time around, we went to go see our grandson this past weekend, and he is into K-pop Demon Hunters. That it's a movie on Netflix, but the music in that movie it is really good.
Inspiring.
It's inspiring. The lyrics are great. I mean, it's like it's not just for kids, really. If you think about it, if you just listen to the lyrics, it's a lot of motivational, encouraging, and like giving you the strength, like to break out in whatever is holding you back, and that you're the queen that you were meant to be. I mean, it's just really, really good lyrics. But our grandson, he sings the songs.
Yeah.
All the songs that come out in it, and he knows them word by word. And so I'm like, okay, let me see if I wanted to learn it, so that next time when we talk to him or we visit, I'll be singing right along with him. And so that's what I've been doing. I've been listening to that Golden. It's the one song is called Golden, and that's a really good one. But there's other ones that are called Soda Pop and
We're gonna do a video.
I mean,
we got to do some parodies of that way. If anything for him, it'd be cool.
To just join him in that. I mean, he loves to sing, and we just kind of see that in him, and so whenever we sing, he pays attention to us. Yeah. He kind of like sees like, oh yeah, that song too, or I'll start singing a song, and then he'll start singing that song too. Yeah. So without even having it being played or anything, it's just he already knows it.
Yeah, it's awesome. And of course, this past weekend, staying on the topic of K-pop Demon Hunters, my grandson, for the first time, he recognized that Grandpa has patterns. And he was a little confused. He's like, oh, I'm going to get my sword because, I got to slay the demons.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about the show is it's like we all have patterns,
Mm-hmm.
right? I think that's the moral,
Yes.
the underlying moral of the story is that no one is void of patterns, right?
Mm-hmm.
And some people have patterns, not because they're a bad person, but they had to face, a difficult situation and made a choice, right? That at that time was probably the best choice that they can make,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so, if you're out there and you got patterns, you know what I'm talking about. Don't take it to heart. You can be whoever you want to be. The patterns don't have to define you. It doesn't mean that you're a demon just because you have patterns, and just because you don't have patterns doesn't mean that you got everything together, right? That's what life is all about. There's balance. There's good things and there's bad things, right? And what you focus on, right, is going to determine who you're going to be. And who knows if a kids show can help pull you out of whatever funk that you're in, right? I know for me, I was going into the weekend and I was in my fields for the couple days, and I was in my fields in a way where it's like to where I hadn't really experienced in a long time, right? And so I'm not going to go too far into that, but whenever you're the type of person who pours into other people, it's important for you to you got to keep feeding yourself, right? And I want to talk a little bit about that without going into too many details, but number one, to finish that out and transition here, I had being present. Being present where you're at is very important, right? Because sometimes we get focused on the next thing. What are we going to do today? What are we going to do here? What are we going to do for lunch? And so we're always thinking about the next thing.
Mm-hmm.
Us as business owners, we're holiday. What product are we going to promote today? What video are we going to record? What are we going to talk about? Topics, and so sometimes it gets hard to be present where you're at when you got so much going on, right? And we're not unique. I mean, everybody has a lot. We're all like struggling with something. We're all trying to get. We all got places to go, right? And we all got things to do. But being present is something that you need to be intentional about, right? Right now, right here, the most important thing is for us to be right here, right now. All of the things that we have, lined up, they are important. But right now, the most important thing is for us to be present right here. And so whenever we go and we visit our kids and we're with our grandson, the most important thing is to be present in that moment, right? Because that's what they remember.
Mm-hmm.
That there's a shirt that I told you that I want to buy, right? It says presence over presence, right? And so you can buy gifts to show that you love somebody, but being present is something that you can't put a price tag on, right? And so for our grandkids, for our kids, we want to be present. I want to be present for you, right? And I want you to be present for me. And so but as the person who is the one that is pouring into other people, it's important for you to have something that you're attached to. And some people go to mentors, some people go to groups and things like that, and there's nothing wrong with those right there. The only thing that I want to say is that it's important to make sure that you're feeding yourself. If it's through another person, if it's getting away, sometimes you could go to the gym and that does something for your mind, your emotions, just as much as it does for your muscles, right? And then I also wrote down here, guarding your heart. You don't ever want to let your guard down when it comes to the things that you allow into your heart. Because over these last couple of days, let me tell you, so it was a thing to where maybe some of you guys can relate, but whenever you're the person that people go to when they need encouragement, or you're the one that's always the strong one, right? You're the one that is like, you know, uh, the encourager. You're the one that is the initiator of these things that, whenever you're that person, right? And if you don't guard your heart, everybody needs to guard their heart. But if you let your guard down and it doesn't take long. It doesn't take long. And so what I was doing is I felt these feelings of man, like, how about some reciprocity around here? Right. And I was telling you that I was like, man, how about a text back? How about a this? How about a that? How about thinking about this? And so that way it can come to me. And that's what I was thinking. Right. And so if you allow yourself to think that, the more that expands, the more energy that is available to feed that thought. And then the more you think about it, the more you feel it, right? And then the more you feel it, the more you think about it. And if you don't have some sort of like protection to get yourself out of that, then you'll spiral into something to where you need help to get out of, right? And I think that's what happens to a lot of people, is that they let their thoughts and they let their emotions, their feelings, they let it go unchecked, right? And there's it's normal, it's okay to be to not be okay, right? And that's a lie. It's not okay to not be okay. At least it's not okay to stay there, right? Everybody has their ups and downs, and that's nothing to be ashamed of, right? This was my down. There's a difference, right? This is a down to where I haven't really been this down in 50 years, probably. I don't know. It's been a long time.
Since you were 2 and they took the rattle away from you.
That's right. That really got me, and I couldn't get over that, right? And but it's been a long time. Like I just do not get sad, in that way, and I don't get depressed, and I'm not negative. But this time, what I wanted to do, I was like, well, why not? Why do I always have to be the good person? Why do I always have to be the positive person? And so I started to entertain that. It's like, why do I have to be that? Like, there's no rule that says I could just, I'll just take care of myself, right? That kind of deal. But what I started to realize, and is that I got to be who I was created to be. And so this is who I am. I am a positive person. I am an encourager. I am someone who's going to be present, and it's going to be a shoulder that you can cry on, a confidant, a comrade, right, and a constituent. If you guys don't know anything about that, I'll talk a little bit about the 3 types of people that'll come into your life. It's something that I've learned, and something that I've learned how to sort of categorize everybody that comes into our lives. But basically, you'll have people that are going to come in that just going to help you do certain things. There's other people that are going to be attracted to you because of the mission that you're on, right? And then there's other people that are there for you. And so it's important for you to put the people who are there for you on the center stage, because those people, you can tell them anything, right? And they're not going to run off and tell other people about, the things that make you vulnerable, right? And so you got to have those types of people. But I realized that I just have to be who God created me to be. And so the reason why I need to be the good person is, and I commented on somebody's post today, right? It was about, how men secretly have to, they have to hide, their feelings, so that other people can't see, right? And I said, it's better to to struggle in silence as a man, especially if you're a leader. If you're a leader of a family, if you're a husband, a father, a brother, a son, and other people count on you to be strong, as a man, and that's the only perspective I can give. You could talk about the perspective of a woman, but I think a strong person, it's equal. A strong person needs to be a strong person, because somebody else, like, you might be barely holding on by a string, right? But somebody else might be holding on to you, and so that's motivation to keep holding on and suffer in silence. Deal with that stuff. And when I say silence, I don't necessarily mean by yourself, but you can have someone who cares about you, to be there with you, right? You're that person, right? You're that person for me, to where it's like I feel like I can let the guards down and I can tell you how I feel, but I also know that you're counting on me to be strong. So it's a unique dynamic, right? Because it's like you're counting on me to be strong, because a lot of your strength comes from me being strong and helping you be strong, right? And so, but you allow me to be weak at times so that I can recharge. There was something that you said whenever you like it, you said that it kind of opened up your eyes to, like, what life might be if I wasn't positive and full of faith and encourager, right? So it opened up your eyes to that. But you said something. You said, I knew that you wouldn't stay stuck there, right? And that's what it's all about right there. If you're the strong person, people have to be able to have that confidence in you, that even if you have weak moments, right? Or times when you, like, low, your battery is drained, right? And that's really all it is. It's just like, if you're not feeding yourself, eventually your battery's gonna run low, right? And so I feel like my battery was run low, but my battery never goes out, right? I can always get myself plugged back in to the source that gives me strength, right? The Word of God is one, but my purpose is another one, right? And so whenever we went to visit, the kids in Lubbock and, our grandson, right? It reminds me of my purpose, right? And so whenever your purpose is strong enough, and if you got something, in you, right? That's that you're not just a, fake or whatever. But if your purpose is strong enough, the things that symbolize or that give you purpose, the people who give you purpose will give you strength, right? And for me, being around my family, being with my grandson, and the shenanigans that we experienced this weekend, the songs, the food, all of the stuff, just watching him play, that right there energizes me, because it reminds me of my purpose, right? And so we're not just wandering, around and letting the wind blow us wherever it's going to go. We're on a mission. We have a purpose to be the best that we can be, right? And to be who we need to be for other people, right? And so I thank you for allowing me to kind of entertain that, because part of it was me, like, I didn't want to feel it, but then in a way, like, I wanted to, if that makes sense. It was like, well, why not? Why not feel it? What's wrong with me feeling in a way that so many other people are like free to feel? I was thinking that. I was like, well, why not? I mean, why can't I be sad? Why can't I experience a little bit of depression? Like, what, everybody seems to like it. What's the big deal about it? Right. But I found out that it's not something that, and I even told you that. I was like, man, I don't know how people can live this way, because it grows. And it's like a cancer, and it just grows and grows and grows and grows and grows, and it won't stop until it destroys you and everybody else who cares about you, right? And so for those of you who maybe suffer with depression, let me tell you that at least for a brief moment in my life, not just recently, but there's been things in my life that have created those feelings, and I could have easily like allowed myself to fall into the same thing, right? Everybody struggles in different ways. We all have difficulties that we come across, but the thing is that staying there is not one that I mean, I just can't see how anybody would want to stay there. And so I know that people don't want to stay there, but it just becomes so hard to get out of it because you get consumed with the negative thoughts. And then that situation becomes normal. Mm-hmm. And you just learn how to deal with it, how to cope with it. And that's my perspective when I stick my toe in it. That's all I do. I stick my toe in it and like, nope, I don't want nothing to do with it. But maybe you can share a little bit. Give me your perspective as my wife watching me, and maybe your perspective in general of this particular topic.
Well, I mean, I've always seen you being present in everything, like when it comes to our kids, when it comes to me, you listen to the details and you remember a lot of stuff that's very specific to things that are happening in our lives, in our kids' lives, and in our grandkids' lives, and when I saw you like that, I was it 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 was different because it lasted a little bit longer. And in my heart, I knew that, like you said, it wasn't gonna. I knew that wasn't you, like you're who you are, and that you wouldn't be in that way for a long time. Like you weren't gonna let it take over and change you. I mean, it can't. It couldn't. It was a moment in time. Really,
It was a blip.
It was a little blip. Mm-hmm. But I did think to myself, how it would be if you were always like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, that's not good. And you could feel it in the atmosphere in our home. You can just feel the weight of it. That it was the burden, that was just in the atmosphere, and just to like live every single day like that.
It would lead to other things, right? And so, it's like, for the record, I didn't do anything stupid.
No,
right?
No.
I just was sensitive about things that were happening, right? And so, like, if you would say something like, "Well, why are you saying that?" and like magnify the that, and it's like, just real irritable and just like man, I feel alone and it's like all of that stuff, right? And so, but it wasn't anything stupid, right? I think that the longer that a man, right, allows himself to be in that, depending on what emotions he feels more comfortable with. Most men are very comfortable with anger. That's the only emotion that is acceptable for a man. Right. And so women have the freedom of feeling more emotions. Like it's almost like you're taught to be emotional. And that's not a bad thing, right? Because you allow yourself to feel, love and joy and those kind of things, right? But as men, especially like my generation of men, the only emotion that serves you, that it's okay for you to express freely, is anger, right? And so we have to go and we have to take anger and we have to dissect it into, an anger that, like courage, and, an anger that is like, I'm going to use this as motivation, and, but it's anger, right? And so we can never do anything just because I love it, right? It's like, man, you said something about me and I'm going to defend my honor or something. It's anger, right? And so, one of the only emotions that we learn and that we're comfortable with, and that kind of feels like is acceptable, is anger, right? And so if you allow yourself to like give in to these negative emotions and feelings that are going to feed, the environment, that create an energy, right, that eventually becomes something tangible that you can feel. Like you can walk into a room, it can take on, it can change the atmosphere, right? And I know I'm one that usually, if I step into something, like I don't consider myself a thermostat. I mean, a thermometer. I consider myself a thermostat, right? And so whatever the temperature is, I don't change the temperature. I go in there and I change the temperature. I don't change my temperature, right? And so, so if I'm sad, everybody's going to be sad, right? If I'm mad, everybody's going to run away, right? And but when I'm happy, and when I'm positive, and when I'm full of faith, and my expectation is high, that it's infectious. It gives you hope, right? And if you're the type of person that, and there's nothing wrong with this, I think that a wife should be holding on to their husband, right? The kids should be holding on to their fathers, and grandsons to their grand, all of that stuff, right? You should be able to hold on to me, but it's also important to make sure that I'm holding on to something, right? And so the closer you are, the more present you are, right, to that person who is the one that is like bringing the energy. Take some time and say, you're holding me, but who's holding you? Like Lois Lane to Superman, right? Who's got you, right? And if you can see that God's got him, or purpose got him, or that he's well connected to that, then it's cool, right? It's cool. That it's a luxury that I think that people have when you're not the one. It's a luxury to have that person in your life.
Yes.
I've said it before sarcastically, and not, I mean it, but I always say it sarcastically. I was like, must be nice to have me, right? I could benefit from another me, right? And so I say that because it is something. It's like, man, to have somebody that is encouraging you all the time, to have someone who is going to be thoughtful and thinking about you, and getting creative in the stuff, and let's putting things together, and like encouraging people to come together, and let's build something new, and must be nice, right? But as the person that is, you are connected to me, being present and just saying, hey, I need to make sure that his heart is guarded. I need to make sure that I'm not like draining more than what I need to drain. And so it's important to understand that when you're dealing with someone who is the encourager. Most of the time, the person who's doing the encouragement doesn't get encouraged, right? The person who gives compliments typically doesn't get compliments back, right? And the thoughtful person rarely has people that are thoughtful towards them. It's just the way that it works. But if we care enough, we can notice that person needs the same thing. He just doesn't need it as badly as I do, right? And so that's a part of being present, right? So you guys have come to know that our behind the X's and O's are conversations that we feel everybody has, or at least should be having, right? It's not something to where it's like, hey, do it the way that I did it, or you go out and you seek your professionals, you do whatever you got to do. I'm in no way saying that I'm the example of how to handle, negative emotions or depression or sadness or anything like that. Right. I'm just giving you my experience, things that I've done, things that I have found some success with, and it has molded me to be the rough around the edges person that I am.
Mhm.
Right. And so yeah, I mean, behind the X's and O's is definitely something that I think that we should have more conversations like this with business owners, because no one who gets anywhere does it without any struggle.
Mhm.
And that is a fact, Jack. Another 80s reference. Right? But what would you have to add to this? And then we'll go on to the next segment.
Well, I think that when you are in a marriage, obviously we have to be there for each other, and not always take and give as much as we can to one another. Because who else knows you the most? Right?
Yeah, my wife. And how does it how does it feel to be the wife of a person like that, right? Because I have to think that, this is just me talking, right? So I have to think that, that we put off like this image that I don't need none of that stuff. I don't need encouragement. I don't need, all of those emotions, and I don't need any of that stuff. Right. And so the people that are around is like, oh, I guess you don't need it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Because I don't ask for it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Or we don't ask for it. Right. So how does it feel as the person, like you're kind of like, okay, should I say something? Should I, what do I do? Compliment? Like, I don't know. It's like give me your, your perspective of what it looks like or what it feels like to have a person like me in your life. Not the positive stuff, but it's like whenever you see like, hey, this would be a good time to help. Like how does it feel to be, to have someone like me in your life?
Yeah, because you're always so positive, and you're always, there's like endless, always speaking positive and vision and encouragement, and it does seem like you don't need encouragement at times, and then sometimes I feel like if I do say something encouraging, that you might think that I see that you need it because you're lacking it, and not really to keep you full,
Yes.
It's like, if I think that you're here and then you need my encouragement to get back up here, but you always seem like if you're here to me.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's kind of hard for me to gauge, like, when do you need it? When is it a good time? Do you need it now, or no, you really don't need it? That it's kind of, it's difficult to kind of gauge.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. And I think that it's good that we talk about that. Right. And then I think it's good that we share that, because like we're probably not the only ones. Right. And so from my perspective, like I would say, like, if you're actually engaged, right? So I'm not saying it's the right way, but like if you're actually present and you're watching me and you're noticing, right? That's how you would be able to know, right? But then the challenge is, how do I deliver the encouragement, right? Because what's encouraging to me may not be encouraging to you, right? And so this is where we have to understand each other's like love language, right? And it doesn't always have to be the love language. It could be something that, to me, like just a thoughtful something thoughtful, right? That was good install, right? You did good there, right? Compliment the way that I'm look, man, the gym's doing really good. You know what I mean? Like those little things. It doesn't have to be, okay, I'm going to sit you down and I'm going to speak encouragement or I'm going to speak life into you, because that looks like scripted. Even you would be like, you know what, you're just reading something that Chat GPT told you to say, right? But it's kind of like, there's little things, it's like little things that can show, that you care, right? And it doesn't have to be words of encouragement. It could be just little things that you do for me that just show that you care, right? Sometimes it's just like, I'm proud of you.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know how valuable that is. Like wives, you don't know how valuable a pat on the back is to your husband. Just tell him that you're proud of him. Just tell him that he's doing a good job. Just tell him that you're so grateful to have him as a husband. Those are things. That's not words of encouragement. It's just like something that you say to show that and then, so women have the same thing, right? And so we could talk about that on another time, right? But if you're with someone who so happens to be your husband, right, and you notice that there are like moments whenever you can be encouraging to him, but you're having trouble like finding a way to be encouraging, right? Because I get it. Like me, I know that I'm probably not the easiest person to encourage, right? Because I look back at any part of my life whenever somebody was in a position to encourage me and I didn't need to be encouraged, like I didn't feel like I needed to be encouraged. I'm going to be like, I taught you that. I said that to you, right? Or like, you're right. What do I look like? I need encouragement. Like that's just the type of person that I have become. And it's not like I one day said, hey, I'm going to become that person. The things that I have gone through would have either broke me or built me, and they built me. They built me into who I am. So good or bad, the things that I have gone through, experienced in my life, they have built me into the man that I am, right? And so what I'm trying to do is be the best version of the man that I am, right? And so it's reflection, it's understanding where you can work and work on yourself, and but also realizing that it's not a one size fits all thing. This is one of the reasons why I don't really spend a lot of time being a part of anybody's group or things like that, because what might work for you might not work for me, and you might be like more advanced in where you're at, or you may not be advanced at all, and so I don't need to be in that meeting, right? And so it's hard to find something specific for you. And so what I found is that God has the right thing for you, right? So I have a direct relationship with God, and then I use that to give me strength, and then I give what I felt like I've learned, right? But yeah, those are some ways. Thank you for sharing, your perspective with all this right here, and and we hope that maybe something we said like brings encouragement to you. Right? You can work through it. You can, you don't have to stay stuck, right? You have to, the way that I did, I just started thinking like L and Max. I started thinking about positive things that mean something to me. I reminded myself of who I am. I reminded myself of my purpose. And then I very quickly, got back to myself, right? And the reason why it was a big deal is because normally I get over things in 2.5 seconds. And so whenever you take a day or two to get over things, when normally you get off to you get over it in 2.5 seconds, you start to sound the alarms, because it doesn't take long for that energy to saturate your whole entire world, right? And so it's important to get on top of that and say, hey, it's not going away. I was saying that. I was like, man, I was like, I'm not over it. I'm not over it. And, but I was sorting things out along the way. And all it really took was one touch. Boom, one touch with my grandson, right? Just, that's all it took. That right there. If that's not strong enough, man, I'm in a bad spot, right? Hopefully I'll never be in a spot that can't help me. Right. But all this was nothing. That was like, man, at first sight, like boom, what was I tripping about? Right. But yeah, but that's our behind the X's and O's conversation. We just try to be real, share a little bit of, some of the thoughts and conversations that we have in hopes that someone watching this might be encouraged from it. So we hope that we did that. So to wrap things up, we thank everyone who tuned in that is watching this right now. We invite you to browse our website. I'm doing some new things on our website to make it, a little bit more fun. And so, buy some ugly sweaters. We're doing posts on gifts, and it's all about gifts and holiday shopping from here until the end of the year for us. And but then we hope we thank you for tuning in this time, and hope that you tune in next time, and we'll let you know when the next episode's going to be. But that's Red Alpha Mugshot Monday. I'm Ruben, and my wife Veronica signing out.
Red Alpha out.